y'all? I'm back. Back to recap this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 24. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's talk about what's going on over here in Huntsville. We're going to start with the Fletchers. We're having a date night with the Fletchers. They're dancing around, being them cute little selves over here at somebody's bar. They're going to sit down and have a little talking. Nell acting like this the first time she done brought it up to Fletch that her and Martell was over there having a heated conversation round to the house. It's always funny to me how when they replay a story, they spin it so that they come off very innocent. That's what Nell is over here doing. She, is saying that Martell brought up the whole name change event that Mel is having. That is going, golly, I thought the M's were bad. If it ain't the Marceaus and the Maurices, then we over here with the Nell and the Mel. Anyway, Nell brought that up. Martell did not bring that up. And he got heated because Nell, you were picking it on him. I hate to put it that way, but you were picking, and he ain't wrapped too tight. His fuse is short, and you knew he was finna blow up because when it comes to that conversation about Mel, he don't have no type of self-control. He didn't really get loud. He got a little elevated, but you knew that was gonna happen. And Chris was like, "Do I need to talk to him?" No, you don't need to talk to him. Because, like I said, we pretending like we haven't already had this conversation at the house. They don't really know what to expect at Mel's name change ceremony. Yeah, we don't know what to expect either. This is new, but I understand why she want to change her name, child. Chris said, "Isn't her name Rogers?" And Nell said, "Yeah." Chris said, "Roger that." And Nell said Mel needs to put that on a t-shirt. She should put that on a t-shirt. Roger that. And then, you go watch Martell's head blow up every time he sees somebody walking around Huntsville. Because, listen, the way these YouTube streets be working, it's a lot of people out here in the very close proximity to where y'all live that are super duper millimeters. So I'm quite sure, he run into a whole lot of guys that go and all these things that that Mel's fans do to support her. Anyway, Tiffany and Stormy meet up because Kiki done told Stormy about things that Tiffany was saying behind her back, and now Stormy has to go over there and see, what's really tea with Tiffany. She's still throwing shade at Kiki, talking about how somebody can be relevant and irrelevant at the same time. I don't even know what she's talking about. How is Kiki irrelevant? She's actually related to Tisha. You're the one that's kind of irrelevant, Tiffany. You just over there by yourself with that baby slung up around that moo thing that you have wrapped around your. This is the first time I ain't seen you with, toting the baby. Stormy was pretty much telling her, like, you did that interview with Carlos King, you be throwing shade, you be throwing digs that are like below the belt. And Tiffany is like, I don't mess with people like that. Like, the people that I have in my life are going somewhere. I don't usually deal with people like Kiki. And Stormy is like, so that's what I'm talking about, girl. You out here acting like you think you better than her. And she does. And I wonder why, because she's not. It's kind of weird. When she got so irritated by being called a Karen, I don't know why, because she coming through real strong with her Karen-like behavior. Like, it's deep down in her. Tiffany Karen. When Stormy tells her that she thinks she takes things too far, now she's talking about, I don't know, like, whose side is she on? Or is she stirring the pot? And she actually said that to Stormy. She said, like, I don't know if you like what you got going on if you're not stirring the pot. And Stormy said, don't do that. She backed the hell off too. They had to take a seat. And then Stormy confronted her about the things that Kiki relayed to her. Kiki said that, she was told that you were out here asking about what school district her son is in. And she's like, I don't remember saying that. You a lie. Because that's exactly the kind of stuff you do. You was over here talking to whoever it is you be talking to down to the Chamber of Commerce. And y'all were discussing how Kiki, was first she down to the Crime Stoppers. Now she over here trying to put the boy in a district that she don't live in. Y'all don't know that these people are actively moving into the district in order for their son to go there. But that's unimportant, not for Tiffany. She just want to know the tea and make it seem like that Kiki is out here doing something, dirty. Then she said, she also heard Stormy tells Tiffany that she heard that Tiffany was talking bad about her products, and she's like, "What? I never said that. I'm almost done with the products." Yeah, you did. I believe you did. You said it to Mel, and we've sat, like I said before, sat up here and watched you say things to Mel, and Mel just like look at you like, "Girl, you're not about to get me involved in that type of conversation." So hopefully we'll find out at some point, that Tiffany's a liar, because she is. Um, all of a sudden she has this revelation. I think Stormy pretty much laid it out there like, you're gonna keep pressing this girl and she gonna jack you up. You missed that part at the cookout, but I feel like you might not want to be pressing Kiki because you might regret your decision. And Tiffany's like, so what you're saying is don't poke the bear? Yes, bitch, don't poke the bear. Why would you think that's a good idea to be out here bear poking? It's a bad idea. Don't do it. Stormy thinks for whatever reason that they're a lot alike and they could be best of friends. No, you don't. That's not dumb. They're not. No, they won't. That's not a thing. But for whatever reason, she thinks it's a thing. So she wants to mediate and, sit down with them so they can come together and understand each other. And you trying to get Tiffany, jacked the hell up is what you're trying to do. Mel's name changing event. It was very beautiful, very much over the top, very much Mel. She has her guests coming in. I'm gonna say, Mel better invest in some insurance, because them was some steep stairs. She had those sisters walking down in them high hips and high heels. I'm just saying, it just looked like, a lot of thick thighs trying to maneuver their way down them stairs. I know my thighs is kind of thick, and I would probably have been challenged trying to walk down those brick, not even stairs. It was like she just placed bricks in the lawn. And Mel's house is very nice. I'm not knocking her house. I'm just saying the journey to the event was kind of steep. That's all I'm saying. One thing I will say is Mel's guests were her actual family. This just wasn't like a TV thing, even though it was filmed. This thing was definitely more about her and her family, because the only people from the show that were there were the Fletchers. She didn't have none of the rest of that riffraff coming through around her house. And she told y'all that she don't be having y'all come to around her house because y'all know how to act, Kiki included. As cool as her and Kiki are, Kiki was not at the event. Child Nell came down the aisle like a bride and to her own song, and it was very much Mel. I felt happy for her though, because with all she's gone through, I think it is like rejuvenating to be able to not have to be associated with the Holtz. Her kids are Holtz, that's fine because that's their daddy. But as she moves forward in her business ventures, I'm sure she's so happy that the name Holt won't have nothing to do with anything that she does moving forward. So that's very cool. After the ceremony, Mel gives her speech, her mother gives her speech. Nell gonna pull her to the side and have a little conversation with her about that mess, Martell. She's remixed that shit again too. Like, she's letting her know that Martell asked about your name changing a bit. No, he didn't. You brought that up, but it's neither here nor there. And at the end of the day, Mel doesn't give a shit. She knows that this ain't got nothing to do with him. However butthurt he is, he gonna have to be butthurt over there around to whoever's house he's squatting in. And she kind of wrapped that up real quick with Nell and moved on to the next thing. She knows it's TV, and she knows that Nell had to do her thing. I don't think she felt no type of way about it because she knew what it was. And so the rest of the ceremony was not about this show. It was definitely about her celebrating with her family. Stormy has a little meetup. Like I said, this was a very much filler episode. If I didn't say that, I'm saying it now. This was a filler episode. It was a lot of little things going on that really didn't connect, not know how. Minus the Scots, minus Martell. Like there was a flashback of Martell, but it was, mostly just Stormy and the Fletchers. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the Scots, so if the show's gonna go on, we're gonna have to add more people. And at this point, the Fletchers have been officially they picture might as well be up next season on the intro. We could take Big Lou and Tiffany off because Big Lou has left the building. So there's that. Anyway, Stormy has to meet up with her CEO, COO. He had a slash in his title. They have this very emotional moment. It was really weird because this guy is like very stiff and he's not, here for TV. He just read the script. He just said what they told him to say, and then he exited the building. But apparently along this journey, Stormy almost lost everything. She had somebody on her team that was family forging her name on things, and it cost her a lot of money. And she almost lost everything. He said she almost lost her house, the whole business. So, that's a testimony that, two things. First of all, you can't be hiring your family to do jobs they're not qualified for. Now, I don't know if it was the cousin, but it sure seemed like it could have been the cousin. We did watch him get fired in the very beginning. And although they didn't bring up no forgery situation, he was lacking, and he was the operations manager. So I don't, she didn't say who it was. So I don't know if it was him or not. I just know somebody in her family was over there forging her name. And I don't know how many family members she had working for her, but I do remember her cousin was working for her in the first part. We saw him get fired in the first episode of the beginning of season. So anyway, she's celebrating the 5th year and, her overcoming the obstacles. I would imagine there's not anybody in business who hasn't had some obstacles to overcome. So, we happy that Stormy and Courtney found their way through that situation and hire someone who's clearly qualified, and the man is like, next time, can you please basically not bring your family members in here that don't know what they're doing? Because, I'm making money over here too, and we're not trying to make my check go nowhere. So let's make sure from now on, if they're not qualified to do the job, then, lesson learned, Stormy. She says she's having a celebration, to celebrate her 5 years in business. And that's definitely worth celebrating, especially if you almost lost everything. So I'm here for that. Then, there's the Fletcher family dinner. So this is them, like I said, introducing us to, we're getting to know more of the Fletchers. Very attractive family. Nell and Chris came together with one child each. I guess the children were very young, like 1 year old when they got together. So he basically, they basically raised them together. Now, I don't know if his daughter, Nell had a son, he had a daughter. I don't know if his daughter was in with her mother, but it seems like they had enough custody that the kids were all raised together. Then they have one child. Then they have 2 children together, so they got 4 kids all together. And she also has a niece that she takes care of. We got another Kiki child, and Nell, we started the conversation with, she had to fire Kiki from the daycare. I don't know what she was doing over there at the daycare, but whatever she was doing, it must have banned her from bringing her children over there. I don't know how many kids she has, but she went and got another job, and then she got fired from that job because she says she didn't have proper child care, but she has replaced that job. Whew. Welcome to the show, Kiki. That was a lot. Nell doesn't like that the kids go to her. Go to Chris when they, want to talk about things versus her. But the kids said her response ain't, the most easy response to be dealing with. She pop up, she go from 0 to 100. real quick. So we sit at the table and she immediately starts snapping on Kiki. And Kiki said, listen, we're not going to sit here and act like I can't keep a job, but I didn't even want to come here until I had a job. So I have to, hear your mouth for the most part. Then they get into her son. So apparently young Chris Jr., got arrested. Now, he got arrested and they had to pay $3,000 bond to get him out. And I was like, so then, Chris Fletcher Jr., what did you do? And then he got locked up and he had dogs. I don't know why in my mind he has pit bulls, and I have a pit bull, but in my head when he said he has dogs, I just was like, he over there with some pits. Now he locked up. And now they gotta take over taking care of them dogs. And like I said, my baby, he eats a lot and he's very strong. So taking him on walks, it takes work. You know what I'm saying? It's just, Anyway, something happened that they had to get $3,000 worth of medicine for the dogs. I don't know what, that's never happened to me before. So I don't know what young Chris was over there doing with his dogs. But that was part of the conversation. Like I said, we're getting to know that Kiki, Kiki is Kikiing, and Chris is over here being the youngest, acting spoiled probably. Yeah, because he doesn't want to pay them back and he wants to get his dogs back. And he's got fancy hair, so not the fancy hair that you do at your house. Looks expensive. I'm just saying. He over here getting it twisted and edged up and probably a little bit color or something going on. So yeah, he's spending money on himself and he wants his dogs back. Chris, what did you do? I'd like to know. Anyway. Seemingly there's some tension between Chris Fletcher and his oldest daughter. She has I don't know if it's her boyfriend. She has a Caucasian partner. So now, they got this boy sitting up there eating fried chicken and collard greens. He probably ain't never going back home to eat no more because Nell looked like she'd be over there throwing down. But it seems to be some tension between Chris Fletcher and his daughter. So it's an interesting dynamic that they've introduced us to. I feel like, yeah, I could bring my family on the table, start throwing their personal business out there, and we can watch it all blow up too. I would prefer not to do that, but the Fletchers want to be on TV, and so did their family because they all showed up for filming. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad they got something else to offer besides Tisha and Marcel over there making up stories. That's where that ended, and yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens next week. We still got a trip that they went on. I can't wait to see how Tiffany is gonna lie her way out of this whole scenario. She shows up with this mediation that Stormy is holding, and she showed up with that baby, I guess hoping that the bear wouldn't jump on her ass. But so that's what we're looking forward to next week. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, that's it, y'all. Bye.